How much awareness do you think there is in the Jewish community about the Paul Kessler versus the Simi Valley Islamic Society?
That's not at all surprising. We see mosques and Islamic associations, especially those tied to the Muslim Brotherhood, are at the epicenter of anti-Israel activism and anti-Semitic violence.
How much adaptation has there been in prosecuting and defending against Islamic anti-Semitism?
I don't think there's any expectation that that's going to change. We need to spread awareness about Islamic anti-Semitism because right now, too few Jews are willing to talk about what's actually going on, where the sources of this hate are. It's the far left, it's the Islamic organizations.
Defenses among the Lubavitch.
Well, I think they have security, but I think their expectation is generally a kind of a faith rather than militant action.
With President Trump coming in, lots of people feel that, well, things may be better on the international front, but what about on the local front with Karen Bastel as the mayor and the city council in Los Angeles?
No, I have no confidence in LA city authorities. However, hopefully there will be changes in the FBI that will actually drive serious engagement with the situation. Right now, the FBI at the LA level has gone after so-called Islamophobic crimes. They have done nothing about attacks on Jews, including on houses of worship. What happened at Adas Torah is a FACE Act violation. The federal authorities did not prosecute it as such. But you know, back in the day in New York during the Crown Heights pogrom, the Dickens administration failed to do anything. After enough lobbying, the Clinton administration stepped in. They actually had civil rights prosecution of Bremer Knelson, who killed a young Jewish man in the community. So there has been insufficient pressure to actually have FACE Act prosecutions. We need that. Jail time
for Loé Al-Naji for killing Paul Kessler.
So there's certainly been, people have been active. I would call out specifically Red State, which has been great on following the Paul Kessler case and keeping the pressure on.
So how much have we bounced back since August in terms of protection, aside from the police, of potential violence towards Jews?
I don't think we're ready for another event like that. I think the LAPD afterward did step up. They actually deployed, but I would not treat that as the new normal, and that's a problem. I think the Jewish community patrols and security people might be okay for spotting trouble, but they're not ready for a mob to show up. They have no arrest powers. They have no power to actually meaningfully intervene. And for that matter, they failed to cordon off areas between the Jewish community and the Muslim mob. I don't know that they've learned anything from it. I hope that they have.
How do you feel about the way that the local news is depicting the Arab-Israeli conflict?
It's horrendous. The LA Times now claims that they're going to course correct a bit away from the radicalism. I have limited confidence that they will. In the past, there was an attack at Salman Wiesenthal Center when they were screening a movie about October 7th. The reporting was both sides were responsible. Likewise, Adas Torah, so it's a problem.
Well, on what you see on the coverage of the Israeli conflict, how do you feel, how fairly is it being depicted?
It's not being fairly depicted at all. They pick up the mainstream media narrative, local news picks up the national news, and the national news follows the line of Al Jazeera and others.
So groups like Honest Reporting and Camera, how effective are they being, like the NAACP would be in a bias against blacks in news reporting? How are our watchdogs doing in your view?
I think they've been effective in tracking it, in some cases announcing it, exposing it. The reality is the media simply does not care and doubles down on the agenda, which means it's like shaming somebody who has no shame.
How about the Anti-Defamation League? How good a job have they been in instilling deterrence in misrepresenting this bias?
Well, before October 7th, the ADL was 99% useless. Since then, they've upgraded to about 79% useless. They've made some strides. They've actually gone back to doing some of the things the Foxman's idea was doing. It's too little too late, but it's better than nothing. And this Jewish community does not have anything on that scale, unfortunately, to carry on that activism. So the ADL is kind of what there is. And that's unfortunate.